All right, English teacher friends. So let's talk a little bit about word study in this video. As I've been putting making my work more accessible through my YouTube channel and my Facebook group, Teachers Making Better Writers, and in other venues, a lot of teachers have said, "How do you get your students to, cop a vocabulary like that? What are you doing?" Because I think I'm no different than other teachers in the sense that I've been in the classroom for, a little over 20 years now. And increasingly, each subsequent fall, when I inherit a new group of students, there's a vocabulary void. It just seems to grow. And that vacuum seems to become more expansive each and every subsequent year. Kids are reading less. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. They're reading less. I just don't know if they're reading text-rich literature as they were, say, when I was growing up and earlier in my career. So we have to fill that void in a little bit and get creative. So I'm opening the vault of my Word Study Academy. Be making some videos and posting to my YouTube channel, and I'm also going to offer some courses in the weeks of my summer vacation. So stay tuned and stay abreast for details with regards to that. So this one I call Developing the Ear of the Wordsmith. So I was fascinated with words as a youngster. I mean, starting probably as early as like 15 years old, I started keeping word journals, and I still have them and show my students. They're 30 years old at this stage of the game, and when I encounter words that I don't know and they excite me, I take possession of them. And just through working on my MFA years ago, wanting to be a poet, wanting to be a writer, just obsessed with words, and I sponge them. So to develop the ear of the wordsmith, I have an activity that looks like this. So here it is. So here's the task that I give to my students. In our collective effort to become better readers, writers, speakers, and thinkers, it's important that we continue to pay very close attention to the language being used around us. For this activity, jot down in your vocabulary journal 10 interesting words that you hear this week. The words can come from your reading, music, news, movie watching, classwork, etc. Literally your surroundings. Capture the word, its part of speech, definition, and use it properly in context. And tell us where you heard the word. So I actually have a few slides that students made for this activity. And I don't do this every week. I just, keep vocabulary fresh and like to have a good arsenal of activities that I can do to help increase, the breadth and the expanse of their word bank. And so one student watched the New York Knicks game. And I don't know if you're familiar with Walt Clyde Frazier, but he's got quite the lexicon, and he's pretty nifty and quite poetic with his discourse. So this particular student stole neophyte, which is one of Clyde's favorite words, and knack, and captured it here. So you can see here, identify the part of speech, define it, and use it in context. So a person who's new to a skill subject to belief. And Walt Clyde Frazier said, "What a spectacular pass from the neophyte. Remarkable that a rookie can see the court like that." So this is really cool that, kids can just sponge words. They have to be alive to words and be alive to language. And I want them to pay attention. And, I had a poetry instructor when I was at Simon's Rock College of Bard, who said, think like a poet. You have to listen like a poet, develop the ear of a poet, listen for words, listen for language. And I think for our students to be, critical thinkers and good writers, they have to develop their ear and listen for those tier 2 level words that can help them become more precise in their diction. And then the second example was knack. Noun, an acquired or natural skill at performing a task. For a big man, he has a knack for swatting the ball off the glass. So this is really cool that, this is one of my reluctant learners. And he loves basketball, and I said, man, you got to listen to Walt Clyde Frazier, and Bill Walton is another one. Stephen A. Smith has a very expansive vocabulary. What's his name? Not Derrick Rose, though, but he played for Michigan. He was part. Jalen Rose is a basketball commentator. Another guy, beautiful vocabulary. So simply by sitting down and watching ESPN for a half hour, the kid's getting his sporting news, but also if you fine tune the ear, can really expand the vocab. So it's pretty cool. So I had a student who was just streaming chill as folk, wanted to listen to indie, contemporary indie folk music on Spotify, and she encountered a few fantastic words: sycophant and misogyny. So a noun, person who acts suspiciously, and she had to look that word up, towards someone important to gain advantage. So, woman, I'm getting tired of your sycophantic lies, comes from a song. Misogyny, dislike or hatred for women. You're a beer drinking, NASCAR watching, misogynistic pig. So what a great way to learn vocab. Super, super, super cool, and all they have to do is in the course of a week capture 10. And, my kids make Canva slides that look like this for their journals. I don't think it needs to be super fancy, but I want it to be art. Words are art. And then this is just a simple conversation with Grandpa. Coffee with Gramps. This student learns 2 new words: adamant and haughty. I couldn't be more adamant. Buy yourself a Honda. Your grandma is a haughty old bird who refuses to thrift shop, and we're on a fixed income, right? So students really develop that antennae, that radar for words and vocab and diction. So just be alert and be aware. That's all we're asking our kids to do as they grow and mature as walking, talking lexicons. So, anyways, I am putting together my short course series for the summer. I've been asked many times whether or not I'll be teaching the Teach It Right 5-week mastermind. I honestly don't know, so I gotta figure out what my summer plans are gonna be here. So I know that I'm gonna be doing some work with Perfection Learning and the National Writing Project, so stay tuned for that. In terms of the short course, I definitely would like to do a crash session on how I develop my Word Study Academy, the ins and outs of the Word Study Academy, and how I teach grammar, punctuation, syntax. I think teachers have asked me a lot to show them the tricks of the trade for that, so I'll put something together with regards to that. Anyways, if you have questions or want to reach out to me, teachinghowtowrite.com is my webpage, and teachingwritingcoach@gmail.com is my email. So just one little trick I have up my sleeve to build that word bank. So hope all is well. Take care. Happy teaching. Happy writing.